Welcome back, folks, to the Grimpunk Lands of Terror. Last session, Killjoys spent the day preparing for their journey onward to Astoya and the Ravencourt Sanctuary, where another of Choom's allies awaits. After tossing around the idea, teleporting to Pravia, you quickly ruled it out due to the presence of the Lady Mira Tolson, First Minister of the Ravo Republic, and another Theurge member. Deciding instead to teleport to Caer Garan and then travel through the Grey Spine Mountains, cross country in your newly kitted out wagon. Everything seemed to be going smoothly. Until, of course, the arrival of some unwelcome, if perhaps not unexpected, visitors. Wah wah. And that is where we are now. As you all step into the teleportation circle, time and space seem to slow. Let's go back. Go back to the Ghost Forge for the moment being.
Oh no. I thought we got out.
Time seems to slow. You all see Hoffried turn, his face turning stony and serious, matching the statues all around him. And the last thing you all see before the world shimmers and you are sent hurtling through time and space is a man dressed in a finely tailored tunic and cloak.
Oh shit.
The man has black hair and a sharp goatee, both streaked through with gray. Lightning crackles from his hand around a curved saber drawn, and he scowls at the dwarven mage before speaking. I'll handle this graybeard. I trust you can see to the retrieval of my property. Of course, he speaks to Secundo, the construct you are all far too familiar with, who simply nods and begins to move towards you. But the world around you shimmers once more. The teleportation circle finally kicks in, and with a jolt, you are whisked away as your surroundings begin to whirl in a confusing and overwhelming kaleidoscope of colors and sensations, overstimulating in their complexity and speed. For those who have never used a portal before, it is not exactly a pleasant feeling. You feel nausea take hold deep in your stomach. There's a pressure building in your head, a keen whine in your ears. It's clear that physical beings are ill-suited for this kind of travel. Thankfully, however, it is over as soon as it began. They pop in your ears. The physical world again reasserts itself, and you reappear in a new location. Oh. Fucking Roll20 just closed for me.
Oh shit, I forgot we were in Roll20.
Now we're the DM guys.
Oh, and now... That took too long. The physical world reasserts itself, and you reappear in a new location. Looking around you, you've all fallen to your knees on a well-worn rug inside of a cozy-looking wood cabin. Through the windows, you see the evening sky darkening, snow falling as the wind whistles outside. There's a fireplace behind you, but it is cold and dark. As you get your bearings, You quickly sense that no one has been here in quite some time. What do you all do?
Get the cart outside before it unreduces. That's my
Very
primary
smart.
purpose.
Is
but with-
the teleportation circle still glowing when we pop into existence?
It glows for a moment, and then it grows dim.
No.
It appears that the teleportation circle is like underneath this rug.
Yeah,
So you see it glowing through the rug, and then it dims.
sure.
Can
So-
I make my all-purpose tool into a chisel and flip up the rug and damage the teleportation circle?
Yes, you can.
I knew what you were doing. The
Like,
exact thing I would have done.
Based
Yes, Gio?
on what I know about Hoffrey, do
Yeah.
I think he has a good chance of getting away?
Go ahead and give me a history check.
Not with this
Oh,
music.
boy.
18. Unfortunately, I think Elias would not be that hopeful.
Rough.
Maybe if things go right, it's a coin flip. But Martorius is the leader of the Theurge, and I mean, in the conversation that just happened moments ago, when Hoffrey learned that, you were talking about maybe going to Pravia, again, his fear at Martorius discovering that he was involved in this was palpable, and certainly well-founded. So I don't think you feel too good, Elias.
Elijah's kind of quiet.
As Corey flips up the rug and starts to try to damage the sigils that make up the thing, and as John takes the card outside, Elias is just kind of in shock or whatever he's feeling. And the whole time that all of this is happening, Dandon is standing back to the door that John just walked out of to take the card outside, and I've just dead set aimed at the center of that teleportation circle until I know nothing's coming through. And
Yeah.
I have the storm sphere marble loaded.
Gotcha. And then let's hear from December. What is Kane doing?
Kane is confused because he doesn't know what that thing was. But he kind of looks around, sees Dandon pull back, and he just pulls out a gun and points it at the teleportation circle.
Excellent.
What are we doing?
We must hurry.
Kane
Hoffrey
pulls
will
out two guns.
There's no point in staying here. They're on our heels.
We need to move rapidly.
Is there any way they can, if that thing turned off and he didn't get through, is there any way they can know where we came?
There's a
God.
possibility.
Yes.
From my arcane knowledge, do I know if you can, if they can find out where we went?
Yeah, because you punch in the coordinates basically on your end
Thought
of, I'm going to hop in here and this is going to deposit me where?
Okay.
100%.
Well,
And in fact, Corey, let's see how well you fuck up these sigils, because this is a very important role. Go ahead and
Hey ho, have some guidance.
sleight of hand. Sleight of hand, I think, makes the most sense.
You get a D4.
I'm not proficient in sleight of hand though.
No, but you're proficient in the tool check because you're proficient with the tools you're using.
Yeah, for sure. Oh. Okay.
This is a very important role.
Add a D4.
$20. 20. Tarnish 20. 19. No, 22. Sorry. It's a 15 on the die plus 4. 19. 22.
22. On a 22, you frantically throw the rug aside, revealing the sigils carved into the floor here. You take out your chisel and start hacking away, attempting to disrupt enough of them to stop the still active teleportation circle. Its lights begin to shine, and you know who is coming through. But on a 22, you are able to fully take out one of the key runes in this sequence, and there is a flash of light of magic that you feel. It's almost like static electricity. You get a bit of a zap in your hand in your multi-purpose tool, but the lights dim.
Leave out the door. Now. They are very... Mortuarius is a very powerful wizard, and he has other ways to get here than this.
Okay.
You step outside. Yeah, so the wagon is indeed, it's been reduced, right, down to a 5-foot square, essentially, still. Have you resummoned Bethany?
Bethany, thankfully, because of the properties of the spell, I can just tell her when I told her to head off, she disappeared into the aether and came trotting back up the path as I left.
Beautiful.
I can dismiss her very simply.
Yes, as she comes trotting up the path, you're buying the first round. I've been here for a while.
Uh-huh. That's impressive.
Yes, I know I am.
So Bethany's a narcissist?
Maybe a little bit.
And Bethany waits as you hook her up to the wagon, looking proud as ever. As you all step outside, you find that this location that you've been teleported to is a lonely mountain cabin nestled amongst the Grey Spine Mountains. You see this winding path that begins to lead down from the peak. Gazing out at the landscape around you, you see the rugged and snowy terrain spread out before you. But most commanding of your attention, only a few peaks away, is the dwarfhold of Caer Garan. You had something, Jacob?
Oh, yes. I was just going to let you know that I do actually have to spend the spell slot to resummon her if I dismiss her like that. So I take
Gotcha.
10 minutes to do so as I get the card out here.
Sure.
But so
Performing
what you
horse calls into the wind.
what you really mean is it takes 10 minutes for you to call for her and for her to realize which peak we're on, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's real roach behavior.
I've been here
which
for
are
45 minutes.
Yeah.
glitching onto the different mountaintops. When Bethany finally shows up, then you're able to get her all hooked up. What do you all do as you all are looking out at Kergaron in the distance, this dwarf hold?
Would it be faster for us to get to Kergaron than it would be to just go straight to Follow Heart?
Oh, certainly.
Okay.
Yeah, Kergaron, it's like very close by.
Okay. Do we want to head to the next dwarf hold, or do we want to head to the next city? Either way, we're going to be followed.
Well, I mean, I don't know. If they can figure out where we're going, like we broke the circle, but I mean,
That's the next nearest city. That's where he just go anyway.
He might just go there. I mean, is Fallowheart a city? Is it a town? What is it? I don't know.
What is it, God?
Town. Not that big.
I mean, it's Hoffrey. He probably assumes that because he's a dwarf, he's sending us to a dwarf place, so he maybe assumes we'll go there. But it'll be easier for us to get lost in a city than it would be in a town. And also, and I do this, and I'm a dwarf, and I'm like, I mean, we can get lost. Plus, he didn't see the cart full-sized.
You know these mountains better than anyone.
Yes, that is true. Blake, how... I mean, I obviously probably don't know exactly which peak I'm on, but if I'm near-ish to Kergaron, or if we are near-ish to Kergaron, then I probably know, like, is that journey feasible or intelligent? Like, what are the weather conditions right now? Like, can I suss out the vibe?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a survival check.
Add a d4.
Yeah.
Man,
and I'll say for
guidance
your
is so good.
time spent in the Grey Spine with advantage.
That's really
This is
good
your
because that first
backyard.
roll sucked. Did you say a survival check? Or...
Survival, yes.
Okay. Sorry, I was doing math and staring at a really bad number before you said I got advantage.
All good.
So that is a 25.
Damn.
25.
18 on the die and a max 4 on the d4. Thank you, Danton.
Spicy.
I know you could cast guidance on yourself, but
Okay.
The guidances we cast on each other roll better, and we all know it.
So logic
Yep.
was that if he is named after the mountains, he probably knows something about the mountains.
22, you said? 25?
25.
25. On a 25, John, the Grey Spines are pretty ruthless. Perhaps unsurprisingly, trying to live amongst the mountains is challenging. Traveling can pose many challenges. Looking around you, it's not you're not seeing a storm, certainly, but it's, again, actively snowing, plenty of wind. To make this trek from this peak down towards Kergaron it does not carry no danger. If you're trying to do it at a breakneck pace, it's going to become more dangerous, certainly. So, kind of have to balance the speed at which you travel with how careful you're being.
What about the feasibility of avoiding the care altogether and trying to make our way to the next? Is that a little... How much food do we have again? Do we have
we have a lot
any?
of food.
You've got... I think you have food. We clarified that your wagon is not capable of producing its own food, but you have some supplies. I don't know if you think you have enough to just to basically just leave the mountains.
Yeah.
I think you might, and it's not even just like, oh, food. It's like, I think we want to get other supplies too.
Yeah.
Like, Hoffrey was saying, like, okay, go to Kergaron, basically, and you'll be able to, like, get the actual supplies you need to travel through the mountains, and then through Astoya.
And
So, like, you have a long journey ahead of you, and skipping Kergaron
is going
Is-
to be shooting us in the
Right. We
foot.
were gonna stock our cart while we were there too, and
Yeah.
just for our
All right.
business. We have 10,000 gold.
Again, what you could do it. It's going to make things a lot more difficult.
Yeah. So we're not
Uh,
going to do that because that's suicide.
And
Um,
this is something that you are acutely aware of. Elias, you probably are. Your survival instincts could tell you that as well. And I mean, even just everyone else's bodies, as you step out, Dandon, it's fucking freezing up here.
Yeah,
This
Corey
is
pulling,
unlike
blankets and
anything
jackets out
you
of her
have
chest.
ever experienced. The wind is cutting through you in ways you didn't know that it could. Corey, it's probably pretty fucking cold for you as well. Same goes for Kane.
Hose don't get cold.
Hose don't get cold. You heard it here first, folks.
Hilarious.
skipping the care would be suicide. We should make our way there as quickly as we can. The weather should afford us fairly decent travel.
Let's go.
I'm gonna wrap Dandon in the blankets I'm pulling out. Then let's move quickly.
Dandon, who has exclusively lived in tropical temperate locations.
Yeah, it is minus 40 up here.
Yeah.
Bethany,
Not
I have some
Alberta
business
weather.
to take care of, and I like pat her on the flank. Take us to the care.
And I'm going to step into the cart. Because I'm not walking around with this fucking sword unbound on these goddamn mountains.
Into the cart, because the cart can drive itself.
Bethany is very smart. But yeah, that's what
I'll
I'm
pick
gonna
up
do
Dandon
while
and
we're traveling.
Put them in the cart.
Gotcha.
Go set up your room or something.
Cool.
Kane is standing very awkwardly next to the cart and just looks at you. John said I wasn't allowed to ride in the cart.
I did. Make sure Bethany doesn't get into any trouble.
And just nods.
You can sit on the coach seat, though.
Blake, do I have any I probably have quite the assortment of different clothing in my bag of holding. Do I have anything snow weather wise edgy enough for Kane?
Edgy enough for Kane? Certainly not.
Do I
Absolutely
have
not.
anything that it will keep him warm?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I have something
Yeah,
that'll work.
you've got some layers.
Oh, the
You-
Belmont cloak.
Yeah, I do have that grotesquely tattered Belmont cloak that I have since been replaced with a much nicer green version of.
I will hand Kane the jacket. You are the only one that they don't know. You are probably our safest bet for getting us all the way there.
I have no idea where we're going.
And I point to the
Bethany
fair.
does.
That way. The horse will
Right.
take you.
Has Kane passed through the mountains before if he traveled from Astoria to everywhere? Or at
Wait,
least
what
part of
point?
them? I don't know.
Yes.
Probably the easier parts.
Yeah, exactly.
passes.
Yeah, not like the high kind of peaks here. There's like more common routes that are still challenging, certainly, but that the traffic kind of more commonly goes through. You've not been to Kergaron, though.
Kane will just nod, and I'm going to climb up onto the roof of the cart and just kind of get my rifle out, because I don't know what was chasing us, but it seemed bad.
I'll start throwing blankets up there. And maybe like a
I'm
pillow
making
for
a
elbows.
nest.
Do you need more? I have some fluffy ones in here, I think.
I'm good, thanks.
Oh, here,
If
here,
you
this
see
one's
either of those guys again, shoot them.
in the head.
Yep. Alright.
Especially the robot.
Anything to slow the robot down.
Got it.
Okay.
Awesome. So we've got Coralia, John, Dandon inside the cart. Is that correct? We've got Kane on top. Elias, where are you?
I'm on the rear end part, is there any holes that I can look out? So I can look at behind us?
Yeah, certainly.
Just sitting
Making
with
sure
the back door open.
there-
Just
Yeah,
feet
yeah, exactly.
dangling off the edge, just sipping your tea.
Hey, I mean, tea sounds right about right.
Yeah,
about
honestly.
In this weather? Yeah.
Get some peppermint.
we have
belly.
a perfectly good kettle here that does need
Awesome.
electricity.
With everyone in or on the cart, then, Bethany begins to pull, and you begin the process of winding your way down from this peak towards the destination ahead of you of Kergaran. So let's talk a little bit about Kergaran. Kergaran is as old as the mountains themselves, or so the dwarven longbeards will tell you. Legends state that the city was carved from stone by a lost elder divine. After spending countless days and nights chiseling out their masterpiece, this lost divine was at last satisfied and shaped the remaining stone into the first dwarves of Terra. They then taught these dwarves the secrets of shaping stone, crafting weapons and armor, and of course, of brewing mead. In exchange for these gifts, the dwarves worshipped this being until they were called, ascended into the astral sea, and were lost. Since then, the dwarves of Terra have used their learned skills to create the great cares or dwarf holds throughout Terra. Though Kergaran is still the largest and revered as the motherland to this day. Thumbs up.
Motherland.
The motherland. Even from atop the mountain here, you look across and you see this great city of stone built into the mountains. You can hear the noise of the city carrying across the valley on the wind if it blows just right. The ringing of hammers, and the grinding of metal, with the occasional larger boom of something heavy being deposited somewhere. You see smoke clouds rising in the distance from various chimneys. You see the ruddy glow of forges and furnaces throughout the city, the heat of which surely helps warm it, keep its occupants happy. As the wind blows in gusts towards you, you catch the acrid scent of molten metal, a smell that is, for lack of a better word, hot. This great stone wall, hundreds of feet tall, stands across the valley between mountains, marking the beginnings of the city. The wall is decorated with the face of dwarven warriors, flanking the massive stone doors, sporting elaborate carvings. And you can see small specks in the distance, small lights patrolling atop the wall. It makes certainly for an impressive sight.
They take their architecture very seriously.
This is real different.
Have you ever been to one, Dan?
No. Until I met you guys, I'd only ever been to Nova Solaris and Marencia.
The dwarf is not a lot about tinkering. I think you're gonna like it there.
Cool.
They're expert inventors, if that makes you feel better. and very good with their hands in general.
Okay.
John, when you had looked out at your surroundings, started to make a call, you estimate that it'll probably take 4 hours to get to Kergaron from here. Again, it's just kind of across the valley here, so you're quite close. It's just a fairly circuitous route that you're having to take. For Kane, sitting atop of the cart, the air is crisp up here, crisper than any you've ever breathed, even if it is cutting in its strength and cold. Towering peaks loom all around you, their jagged edges cutting through the sky. And the path that you begin to follow is certainly treacherous. It's winding through ravines and rocky cliff sides. At times the pathway disappears or threatens to give way. Gravel is loose and threatening. The occasional gust of wind is sending shivers down your spine. And yet there is a peace to this place. Something beautiful about your surroundings. Something sublime. This is a land that will kill you as quickly as it cares to. But it's beautiful all the same. As the hours begin to roll by, how do you all pass your time?
Ha!
Gain inspiration, Elias.
Amazing. Like I said, I am attempting to perform another ceremony to
Yes.
bind the greatsword.
Binding the blade.
TM.
A task that you have performed many times, certainly, John. You are a steady hand at this by now. No check is required. You're able to bind it.
Do you
Sick
bind it
nasty.
because it attracts people to it, or do you bind it because, ooh, spooky, scary sword?
Bit of each column.
I think you are much more scary than the sword.
Thank you.
I wasn't complimenting you.
I think that's subjective.
Yeah, as you are
David
binding.
just sitting in like the like rafters of the space, like just.
As you are binding your blade once more, John. How long has it been since you were in the Gray Spine? Years, certainly.
You're muted.
I'm actually going to open my backstory and look at the numbers because it's been a multitude of years. We're talking possibly multiple decades.
I think
But at
15
least
was the
one.
number I remember hearing
Yeah,
last
15 to
session.
14 sounds.
Yeah.
I think by this point and how much time has passed, I think it is 15 years.
It's been 15 years since John, perhaps a different man, strode amid the peaks, carrying the blade that you bind now and set upon your back. A different man, certainly. How does John then feel about returning to his old haunt?
I think similar to the emotions that or at least the sensations that Kane was picking up, that sort of just calm and the quiet deadliness of the mountains is calming. Like, whether it was a pleasant time or not, these are familiar environs.
Yeah.
They're environs he remembers more than any others he has spent in.
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of memories flooding back to John. But there is a weird sense of calmness despite all the twitches some might see to his facade.
Mhm.
Nostalgic in a word, though.
Yeah.
Geo forehead, bottom text.
Jew.
Elias, Danton, and Corey, you watch as John finishes his ritual and sets the blade upon his back, contained once more, and you see that he is miles away.
Can I just run around, or I guess scuttle around the interior of the cart? And I am going to log in my memory any places in this on the interior of this cart that I can hide in, like, just so I have a good memory for any places in here in case we're ever breached, if somebody gets in here that we don't want in here.
Jeez.
So I'm going to just find hiding spots best as I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, you're certainly able to find many hiding spots in this magically enchanted wagon cart. You find, perhaps most interesting of all, you do in fact find that there's a false wall in one place that you're able to kind of just like slide that back and reveal a hidden little room. But you also find plenty of other nooks and crannies that you and only someone of your size or smaller could worm your way into.
Perfect.
In case it comes to that.
Yeah, I'll spend quite a bit of time, and I'll Dannon is gets hyper focused on things and is going to hyper fixate on her paranoia at the moment, and just looking for hiding places, looking for routes to quickly get from one way to the other that may not be as immediately like anybody's first thought, but what'll work for me and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'll give her like the original schematics. This will at least give you a rough estimate of where things are.
Ooh.
I don't know how much Hoffrey changed. I told him not to change anything, but he definitely changed that shelf on my part of the space.
This is the coolest house I've ever been in.
Yeah, now I have to actually use a mage hand to be able to get into the fucking shelf because Hoffrey made it taller than me.
There's like a step stool over there, I think.
Ah.
That's not as cool as magic, I guess.
Exactly. Magic's always cooler. Corey is like, because of the way her veil sits on her face, she kind of stands in the center of the apothecary, almost looking like stuck and like almost trying to figure out which direction to go, and full ADHD glitch. No.
Yeah, you have the wagon around you finally, nearly exact to specifications. A few frustrating alterations made, certainly, but looking around you, miraculous work has been done here.
He took so much care in it, I'm scared to touch anything. But her like attention keeps shifting, like sidelong back to John and back to where Dandon is over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
I should make sure Kane's not freezing to death.
You can tell him he can come inside the cart now.
I will.
He gave
Maybe.
us soul fuel. It feels fair.
I will. Is there like an upper hatch to the top of
Yep.
the cart? Yeah, I figured
Yep.
as much. Because there's a
Hot.
forge in here. I'd hope so.
Yep.
I will open the hatch. Is he on top of it?
Not on the hatch.
Okay, good.
No.
I will just open it slowly. Hey, it's me. Don't shoot. John says that you can come in the cart. It's fucking freezing out here. Get inside.
So I don't need to keep watch for the robot, because I'll just keep watching for it.
Right, and we don't want a frozen elf on the top of our cart.
Fine. And I'll get my stuff, and I will follow you back inside.
I will call her back to John and tell him to have Bethany keep an eye out. Because she is a horse.
Yes, she
Yeah,
is.
that's the pretty
Bethany
pack
is-
you guys found. Yeah.
There is tea of your
Spirit
choosing
horse.
waiting
Spirit
for you.
horse. Bottom text.
Kane looks, as always, wildly uncomfortable to be here.
Alright, Kane, let's go through Cliff Notes of what you've just signed your soul into. The robot man that is following us, his lovely name is Secundo. He is a construct, he is not a person. And we need to figure out how the fuck we're going to dismantle that can. He is controlled by Pemberton, who is we've been over, so
Penny boy.
and now I guess Martorius is in that situation, so that suggests that Pemberton has probably informed the Theurge that we have his stone in our heads. Would be
Or
my
that we
guess.
stole it.
Or that we
Probably just
stole
told him
it.
that we stole it.
That too.
So, you have a lot of people that want to kill you.
No, that's just one group. I'm wanted by the Theurge and the Arcanist, so is that one. And then she points to Dandon and then looks to John. That one is an ex-cult member, and she then points to Elias. We haven't figured out that one yet. He doesn't like to talk very much.
Tea.
Elias. But, have a theory he might be actually patient zero of the beast situation, but we haven't bridged that connection of friendship yet.
You just did.
Just saying
Loudly in
shit.
the middle of the room.
True, but that's beside the
And
point.
just kind of aired that dirty laundry. Shook it out in front of everybody.
Ow.
It's a theory. It can be wrong. And we all saw the dragon. Or whatever it was. I don't think dragons have 6 legs, do they?
What are
No.
you talking
That
about?
was not a dragon.
No, I can confirm that definitely was not a dragon.
I
I'm
apologize,
very familiar
Elias.
with draconic anatomy at this point in my life.
I bet you are. I apologize, Elias. I'm speaking as if you are not here. Why don't you tell us your story yourself? And she pulls out like a notebook and a pen.
I feel as though this is not the appropriate time.
I feel as though it's deserved.
But it.
Elias, come now. What terrible secrets would you never drink enough to share with me?
All I can say is the short of it is the beast has infected me with its affliction.
Right.
I am
Right.
I am able to control it for now, but I'm looking for a cure for myself, but mostly for those that have been infected, such as the child in the previous town.
Right.
That is what Aubrey and I were researching and discussing. We have made some progress, but we're not quite there yet. That is the reason why
Hey, Blake.
Yep.
So it's written in Corey's backstory that she can rewind souls. Could that same situation be rewritten to rewind the person to before the beast infected them?
You know, at one point we talked about growing someone's hair back and the very dangerous potential of that. What did you just say?
Right.
Hey, Corey. Anything
Make him a
is
baby.
possible with enough magic. And
Yeah.
the only downside is that you might get sucked into a void again. Or maybe something weirder will happen.
I don't want anything weirder to happen. I've already talked to a god once.
You have seen and yourself done bizarre things with magic, things that break the rules of reality. So, if you wish to try and break another rule of reality, give it a shot. I encourage you to do so.
rolling those dice,
I
Jake.
don't wanna,
Roll the roulette again.
I don't want to break
Another 3 billion on black.
Another 3 billion on black. It's a good bet. It's a good bet.
Good bet. It's a good bet. I take those odds every time.
So it's a 48% chance. Oh no.
we have made strides. We are not quite sure if it's a disease, a virus, or curse. Joffrey thinks it might be related to the soul and the corruption of it.
He was, well,
If it were a disease or a virus, Elias, I could kill you. Or I could cure you like that.
I could also probably kill him like that, but that's beside the point.
Very different meaning.
no, his
Oh yeah.
Mr.
If it were a
Ghost-
disease or a virus, I could cure it like that.
Mr. Ghostforge's notes said that he thought it directly affected the soul, like it was a soul disease.
Wait, when did you read Hoffrey's notes?
I'm so proud of you, Dandon.
What did you take?
I
Should
didn't
transcribe
take
them next
anything.
time.
What did you write? What did you find?
I didn't write anything.
What did you find?
Well, I read a book about the Solar Imperium. It was a history book, and it was about the creation of the Arcanist Inquisition and opposition to it, and how the biggest opposition to the Arcanist Inquisition has always been like the criminal elements, like the family, because they're the only ones that can outwardly do it because they're already a criminal organization. And that was written by a dwarf, I think. It was a dwarf name. And then I read through some of his notes, and he was talking about a lot of like specimens and people that he had tried to cure, or like pieces of flesh that he tried to cure, and nothing ever really took. I thought it was kind of weird because I know the beast hasn't like gone that far, because I'd never heard of it until I came over here. But I was like looking through, and he doesn't have like he had like notes written as like, these are elves and how it's affected elves, and these are dwarves and how it's affected dwarves, and he didn't have any ASMR on there. I thought that was kind of weird. And
Dandon, I need your blood. Please.
I mean,
Not
wait
all
a
of
day and
No,
the
we'll
no.
blood,
prob-
right?
Not
I
all
am
of it.
concerned in what you need
Well,
his
if
blood.
Hovry hasn't tested, if Hovry hasn't tested angelic blood,
Well, I'm
in-
not so sure about blood, but I mean, I think you guys could feel it when we did the Soul Forge thing. I burn pretty hot, and if it's something that affects the soul, maybe, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't work on me, or maybe it would work differently on me.
maybe your soul is too pure that it can't be tainted.
I think it's just on fire.
It's good to be curious, Dandon. And
But if we
that
think if it messes
is-
with the physical body too, it would mess with the way that the cells in the blood would change. So I could technically test with Elias's blood and Dandon's blood to see how the two would interact with each other. Theoretically.
and you have the equipment for that.
I mean, I'm-
Maybe.
I mean, I guess like the next time we get into a fight, if I get cut, you can have some of my blood.
I'd rather it be sterile.
What are you talking about?
I'd rather it be clean.
Okay.
You
I
can't
don't.
just collect blood off of the ground and test it, Dandon. That's
I'm not. You could take it. I don't know. Yeah, if I got cut, you could like put something up there. I don't know how else you're gonna get my blood.
With a needle.
Ah, no. What?
Wait, so you can stab Kane in front of everyone, but I can't put a needle in your arm.
I,
in order to
nobody's ever
test-
tried to take my blood out of me before. At least when they weren't slicing at me with a halberd. What are you talking about?
It's
right.
it's okay, Dandon.
It's a pretty standard medical procedure that a lot of physicians will perform because your blood's got stuff in it that's really important about you. So they just take a tiny bit, way less than would ever be enough to kill you, and then they put a band-aid on you, or like a bandage, because band-aids don't exist.
And sometimes I give you lollipops.
No, they did. Yes. The brand exists.
Some of that was good.
Fuck 'em.
I didn't like the first part though. So you want
It's
to
alright,
stab
Dandon. You
me and take some of my blood out?
Only a little bit.
Okay. Oh, is this like the thing that you used to shock him back to life?
No. That is basically straight adrenaline that I shove into his body every time he goes down.
Terrifying.
And this is there will be nothing in the syringe aside from your blood. I will just
Okay.
I know you're excited to test out your theory, but Dandon, think about it and give us your answer later. It's not
Really?
a pressing matter at this moment.
I think it is a pressing matter because all of our souls are intertwined now.
Right. That was the other thing.
Actually, I was with Elias until you brought that up. Consent is really important, but please think of an answer quickly, Dandon. Because our souls are intertwined, and
Do you think if that weird psycho wizard dude found a painting in Hoffrey's house and somebody had drawn a mustache and a unibrow on him, that he'd be really mad?
Oh no.
probably be mad at Hoffrey. It's his house.
What did you
Man.
do?
It was Choom's idea.
Why the fuck would you listen to him?
Dandin, what the fuck?
Listen,
Dandin, we're gonna have to have a really important conversation later
You
about
told me to do it.
snitches and their propensity for getting stitches.
you don't have arms.
It's true, you don't have arms.
What in the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Means you're incorporeal, bitch.
And
You don't have arms.
Okay, what do you have to do to take my blood?
I'm gonna
And
just
how much
put
do you need?
like a 15 milligram, a tiny
What?
amount of water, a tiny amount
I
of blood.
mean,
It will be, but you don't have to. You don't have to right now. Obviously, we are in a situation where it wouldn't be the best idea for me to be using volatile blood.
I think it's probably fine. And I reach into my herbalism kit and I pull out a bunch of stuff that I've been collecting and I just smear it on my arm. And it's like, give me like a minute and that'll be a little bit numb there.
Can you make some more of that?
Yeah, I have been. I've got, and I pull out. I have 5 already made healing poultices. So we can. So I talked a little bit about this before. We can sell these to people, and I think they'll work almost as good as like some of those potions and stuff. But people really shouldn't drink these. They should be applied on like topically. I think I don't know that word. They should be applied directly on the skin. But
Topically,
they could drink it and eat it if they needed to do something really fast. It doesn't taste good. It doesn't. I've tried it. It doesn't taste good at all.
Elias, I would like to help you. If you'll
Yeah.
let me.
I am not refusing your help.
I
Yeah,
know,
we're-
but I mean, there's a reason why you take the form of a dragonborn.
We're traveling physicians and apothecary. We should try to cure something if we can, right?
I will draw Dandin's blood. You prepare what you need.
She like goes up on her tiptoes and a little too excitedly.
Have you ever had your blood drawn?
She said, aside from a halberd, no. Please don't use a halberd on them in order to get their blood.
It's
Stupid robot.
It is like a bee sting, but milder.
Oh, yeah, that's not too bad. Also, I
Yeah.
already numbed my arm, so we're good.
Corey comes back with like sterile syringes, nice copper ones that she probably stole from Pemberton, and like a little tray and stuff, and sets them all down and like cleaning stuff and everything like that, and a good little nurse as you would. She looks far too excited.
Thank you.
Dandin's like looking at the needle and then looking at the stiletto and on my hip and then looking at the needle and then looking at the stiletto and just being like, okay.
It won't go
It is
nearly
far
as-
less dangerous than what you have there.
It will not go nearly as deep as your dagger will.
Alright.
Alright, I read.
Go ahead and give me I think medicine is what this literally is. Go ahead and give me a medicine check. You are practicing medicine.
I think literally, yeah.
22.
22. You were able to draw blood with no complications.
You literally feel
Uh,
nothing.
Yeah, you
I'm
literally
expert.
feel nothing. Expert. You find the vein perfectly.
Got the right angle.
Yeah,
the
right angle.
most steady hands.
Yeah. Yeah, Dandin, your blood is drawn.
Is it? It's just normal red blood, right?
No!
It's not weird blood.
Orange!
It's green.
Does it flow with ichor?
It's pretty red.
And then it's all done now.
Okay.
You made it really easy for me. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, I want to help.
I'm gonna hand Dandon a lollipop. It's cotton candy flavored. Oh wait, I have a cherry one in here somewhere. Hold on.
Better.
likes the taste of
That's 3 vials of blood, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Alright, I will go take them back into the little portion of my space where the all of the potion bottles and everything are, and everything like that, all of the science equipment. She pulls a microscope from her chest.
Arcanopunk centrifuge.
Let's go.
It's just impressive, for being honest. There's so much stuff in there.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't let anyone go in there.
No.
Because I don't know what all I've put in here anymore. I've been alive for a very long time.
That's terrifying.
I guess you can't really turn your skin inside out, can you?
Mm-mm.
I mean, technically you can.
Well, yes, but that's sort of an irreversible process.
You can't put you can't yeah, that's not and keep me alive at the same time.
You know, I think
Technically,
and I
it's
might be able to
reversible.
do that.
If I die, it's
Actually.
equivalent to a bag of holding being ripped. So,
Gross.
everything will be lost.
I'm really
Great.
surprised you haven't kept a list of what you put into the extra dimensional space you
I
stitched
had a
into your
list.
chest.
I had a list.
So you're
Did you lose the list in the extra dimensional space in your chest?
Listen.
How does that work? Don't you just reach in and say what you want? Couldn't you just say the
That-
list
that
of
if
shit
it
I have
wants
in
to
my
give it
chest?
to me. Usually it likes to give me the things I want, sometimes it doesn't.
So from what I can tell, don't ever let you near any other bag of holding.
Yeah, don't put me in one. It's probably a bad idea. I probably shouldn't have gone in the one with the fairy, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you guys were in one.
Yeah,
You
clearly
were
that
fully
means it's
in
fine.
one.
You were
Yeah, you're
entirely
fine.
inside one and it was fine.
Yeah, you're
I guess
fine.
it's fine then.
Just
I
don't
guess
swallow.
it's
So confused.
Just don't
Oh.
swallow one.
Because I don't think I've actually explained what the tattoo looks like when it opens whenever Corey pulls something out, while Kane was here. So what it looks like, as she puts her hand towards it, teeth, sharp, razor sharp teeth open down her chest, and an eye opens as she reaches into it and pulls things out of it, and then it seals again.
I don't know if you've ever explained that when the rest of us were sitting around here.
Yeah,
It
I
is-
know.
It is the
Only
same color
explain that to me.
eye that she gets when she does the eyes of minute seeing. So it's dark blue with a white pupil.
Ew. Why?
Because she's a witch, I have to make it cool.
This is gross. This is gross and weird.
She's from Full Metal Alchemist. It has to be on theme.
Okay. I'm gonna go find my room.
You go off and find your room, Dandin.
Does anyone have any orange
Yeah.
slices?
Lollipop in your mouth.
How would Dandin's room have been set up, constructed? What's it looking like in there?
Is that a Dandin choice or a Corey and Hoffrey choice?
Probably a Corey choice, right?
I fully believe that everyone's space is garnered to them. I do have descriptions on what everyone's faces look like, if you will let me decide. Otherwise, you do not have to. If you want to decide your own space, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
So, Dandin, you find that all of the other spaces seem fairly correct to the person they are supposed to go to. Corey's room has stars across the ceiling, mountains of books everywhere. John's has like weapon holders and a place for an altar and such like that, and so on and so forth. But as you're going into the back of the cart, you find just a hole. Just a circular hole that is perfectly Dandin-sized, and it looks like a porthole.
This hole was made for me!
And as Dandin crawls in, just above is a corded net that has pillows and blankets and such on top. Everything is a soft orange or green or brown or yellow color. There is a soft yellow carpet in the center of the space. There are books along the walls, and on the back wall where this net like meets up to is a huge bay window that looks outside.
Ooh.
And then there's a space for with small tools and some springs with some jars that have nuts and bolts in them and such. Things to update your slingshot. Yay. I'm glad that you approve.
I
So good.
crawl up into the netting and crawl around a bunch.
There are, you find that there are doors that lead to other crawl spaces through the carriage. Many of them are to spaces that you had already found, that she had given you the map to. But you have direct access through the cart, as you wish. Each space there are tunnels that go to each room individually. Paintings open that allow you out. Such things. You can be absolutely nefarious with it.
Oh no. What did you give the rogue?
Back doors to everything!
I will say, as she said, she connects to your head directly. I will say that if you try and steal anyone's stuff, I will revoke your access to your space.
I'm not gonna steal anything from anybody.
That lives in the cart.
Collecting things of patrons that might come in is also unacceptable.
Why would I
Unless
steal from people that are gonna pay us? I don't have to steal anything right now. I have 10,000 gold in a bag.
she's gonna buy. You feel Corey's energy leave. I can describe everyone else's spaces too.
You feel the weight of your stolen book in your pocket. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't take the book. I just read it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. That's right, put it back.
Jeez, Blake, thinking that we're all stealing books without.
I should have,
My
because
God.
it's not doing Hoffer any good.
Nope.
That's just to mask Kyle's sadness.
Too soon.
Can I
Yeah, Dandin,
Yeah.
you find your lovely room waiting for you. Yeah, if you would want to describe other people's rooms, feel free to. Though.
So the center space, which is like a sitting space and a spot next to a kitchen, and there's a large cauldron that is boiling in the center of the space at a fire, where the forge is just above it. Off to the side is where the physician space is. There are many cots. On the other side is the apothecary shelving and everything like that. And then down the back hallways, there's two on either side. There is Corey's room off to the left-hand side. Her room, again, drapes and starlight and all the things a wizard would need, and items for her own tinkering. Directly next to hers is John's and then Dandin's at the end of the hallway. John's is muted and cool greens and dark blues, a dark blue carpet, and weapon, what are they called?
Racks.
Racks. Sorry, my brain is off in its own little world. Weapon racks along the wall on one side. There is a secluded spot that looks like it would be based for an altar. There is a very large bed with deep maroon and silk sheets, and another small window off to the side next to a reading nook with books. On the other side is Elias's space. It is soft grays, deep emeralds, and almost like P&W deep blue, a gray gunmetal colors. There is a space for different type of science experiments and whatnot. There are some diagrams of animals on the walls. There is another bed, but this one is inset into the wall. Along the back side, on the other side of the bed, is a window that spans it, that looks outside. And then all along the top portion of the bed is the map of Terra and all of its rivers, in like highlighted blue and such. There are plants too in his space.
And then there's I'll say too, I'll chime in real quick. There's like on that map, there's like a little glowing cart icon wherever you guys are. Just like
Amazing.
I love that.
Whoa.
I want him to have the most like perceptive type stuff. So yeah. And then Kane's is at the very end of that second hallway on the right-hand side. It is a dark mahogany door and opens into a dark gray carpeted space with a very nice but kind of simple bed. There are multiple windows along the right-hand side of the space, along the whole side. The bed leans up right next to him. There is a chair and guitar racks along the back side. A soft purple glow comes from the corners of the room, like mage lights. As you are a drow, so you are sensitive to light. But each space seems carefully garnered. There are hues of purple and such in Kane's space too. And there is a atomically correct skeleton, just sitting with a fake banjo in a wicker chair next to another one on the other side of the window.
They call him Mr. Bones.
Call him Mr. Correct Bones.
Kane walks into the room, immediately pulls a gun on the skeleton.
It's
That's
not
the way.
real.
No! Mr. Nose's bones.
Das bones.
Them dry bones.
I have a tea cabinet, right? And a tea prep set.
Yes, there is a whole space where all of your science stuff is, and then there is a corner that has a little desk or a little table and chair and a whole like wall of tea paraphernalia and such. She got you new teapots and different types of tea, some loose leaf, some bagged, all kinds, and a new matcha set.
Sweet.
Cool.
After about an hour of travel, there is a disturbance. The enlarge reduce spell on the cart ends, and your cart returns to its normal size.
Oh, we all just crawled into a tiny ass door.
A medium-sized door.
I mean,
It
the
was a
size
medium-sized
doesn't
door.
change.
Yeah, it was.
inside.
Yeah, exactly. The exterior had shrunk, but the interior, because of that already, Mordenkainen's
That just makes
warping
Kane
magic.
sitting on top of it so much funnier.
So much funnier.
Sitting on
It
top
also
of a
makes-
very small cart.
It also makes Bethany in front of that cart hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah, because she's a large creature.
yeah, yeah.
She was sprinting. She was having a great time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like when you're
She
when
was
you see
carrying nothing.
parents biking, like, and they've got their little kids connected on the bike behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the
Um,
hour passes and the regular size cart
Regular
returns to the
cart.
fold.
Regular cart.
At this point, how far are we from our destination?
You got a few hours to go still.
Okay. When we're about like an hour-ish, and I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace. Actually, should I cast it now? Maybe like no, yeah. Like maybe an hour and a half before we get to our destination.
Sure.
We'll make ourselves known half an hour as we approach.
Hey, Corellia, do you have any brooms or anything? A couple of extra, I don't know,
Like,
something with bristly ends.
she
Help
walks
cover our
over
tracks in the snow
to
behind us.
one of the walls, and like presses it in to make sure that it like works properly, and the door clicks and slides open, and there are cleaning supplies off to the corner of the space.
Oh no, I don't want to waste those. Fuck.
Like a what? What do you need it for?
I was going to hang them at the back of the cart to obscure the tracks we are leaving in the snow.
Oh,
Is,
that's I can make something.
what kind of trees are up here?
Surely they would be evergreens at this.
At this height, yeah, at this height, there's not that many trees, period. It's
Well, I'm just-
much more rocky.
I'm just wondering if there are any, if we can just cut off the boughs and use those to cover the tracks.
You do, again, as you're heading lower, you start to see them and you're able to grab them. But for that first hour, there isn't really any.
I have a rake. Do you think that would help?
No, I think that would be more distinct.
She starts
The idea
digging
behind
into
bristles
the
is they're
closet.
soft, so it just kind of mussies it all up.
I have a soft broom.
You could fill all our tracks behind us as we go. But
No
that
one
would
has
be
shaped water?
time-consuming and exhausting.
Anybody have shape water?
No.
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 Would have been great.
I have prestidigitation though, so I can just continuously make it go away.
It's a lot of work.
You want to focus on doing that for the next 3 hours?
3 hours.
No one talks.
You can.
to me. I'm
You
gonna go
will
talk
be
to-
doing nothing else.
I'm gonna go talk to the snow. No. Can I'm gonna think. Hold on. I am a wizard. The answer is spells.
Magic is always the answer.
Rewind a soul? Magic. Clear a path? Magic.
You said it's still like snowing actually at this
Yeah,
altitude, right?
it's actively snowing.
Oh. They can't teleport up here anyway, so by the time they get here to this location to try to track us, our tracks will be gone. You don't need to waste your time.
Yeah, we broke the
Yay.
thing. There's no other way they could get up here.
Not that quickly.
Don't say that quick. Don't be like as you say that.
Sukundo
you
comes
say that.
barreling down the mountain and punches you in the jaw for
Sukundo rides
57
down the
points of
mountain.
damage.
Rides down the mountain on a snowboard.
He would.
Goldfinger
See-
starts playing.
he's wearing
Superman specific.
He's wearing a Burton jacket and a
Snowboard.
beanie.
He's gonna come in with a surfboard. Surfer style.
No, see, if he had a surfboard, I would have never been able to just knock him into the river and him not
Okay,
follow us any further.
Yeah, he would have kept surfing.
he would have kept
He would
following
have just
us.
landed on the wake of the boat.
As the hour passes and your route begins to twist, you behold quite the sight. It's a sight that is. Well, let's take a look at it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh.
On the
Yeah,
western
what I see.
side of one of these mountains, a skeleton lies of a size truly hard to understand, for it looks as if the skeleton could stand up and tower above the mountain, but how could that be? That's not how size works. But it is there, with a similarly colossal blade jutting out of its busted rib cage. John, you spent plenty of time in the Grey Spine. Sights like these are wondrous, certainly, but strangely not uncommon. Throughout the mountain ranges, there are other such skeletons, as well as statues, figures of warriors of a similar scale. Some larger, some smaller. Who or what these are, or who made these, or details about this tantalizing vista, details are scarce. There are stories abound, told by the dwarves of the Cares throughout the mountain ranges. The cult of Tormak had their own stories of bloodshed and violence. It's a scene that you now all share together, though. Coralia?
Do I know anything about the big spooky skeletons in the mountains? Surely.
Give me a history check.
I'm really good at those. Hopefully my dice. Please, please.
Scary skeletons.
19.
In your Terran World Geography class, in the unit on the Grey Spine, this was a footnote. It was an amusing footnote. There was an individual who had attempted to pursue this as like a research topic. They were unable to find any information.
Well, it seems like that seems like a continuously bigger situation that we don't have answers for.
One of many mysteries yet uncovered.
They're excellent landmarks.
I
Certainly.
bet.
Sometimes you can find
I don't know where that sentence was going. Sorry, the liquor took it.
John, in particular, you know that once you come around the bend and you can see, once you're, about this far away, it's like 2 hours to Kagaron.
Is
we'll be
it
there shortly.
is it a real skeleton or is it a statue?
It definitely looks like a real skeleton.
Oh, it's real.
It is indeed certainly real.
The fuck would be big enough in order to...
Whatever that was.
How is there no written information about it?
How is there no written information about the gods?
How is there no written information about what the fuck I do with my hands?
I don't know.
I'm getting tired of there being less and less information about things.
Oh, that's the exciting part, though, is the mystique and the wonder. Maybe
That's
when we're not
pretty
being
good.
hunted down by robots and king capitalism, we can scale one of these and dig into its marrow and really find out about it.
Okay. I'm gonna go over there.
King capitalism? Corey is staring at this thing as the cart goes by.
Ooh.
Dandin, could you please give me a wisdom saving throw?
Okay. I'm gonna roll. That's a natural 1 for a total of 3.
Please don't light the cart on fire.
And now, I have a thing that I can do if I fail a saving throw, but I can only add a potential 2d4 to it. So.
Natural 1 for a total of 35.
That's Dandon's first roll of the session. A nat 1 with the Dandon die. Rough.
Cool. As this towering skeleton comes into view and Bethany continues to lead the cart, the travels continue.
Can Kane get back on the roof for like another half hour, just as we're traveling along, to keep an eye on things?
I totally believe that the platform that connects you there, if you're fully standing upright, your head just pokes above the... Like, you cannot stand fully upright on the platform with the hatch closed. Like, you could just...
Oh no, like I'm out fully on the roof.
Yeah, I'm just saying, my headcanon for the interior structure is that you could just...
Just a meerkat.
Yeah, you pop back
totally.
out. Resume sentry duty. Go to give me a perception check.
Is it direct sunlight up here?
It's evening.
Okay, cool.
Sun has set.
Hmm.
24.
24. Looking around you, you are the only travelers on this path. Looking ahead, you see that there is a decent amount of traffic coming to and from Kergaron, just again, not using this path, not heading from or to this particular mountain that you teleported atop. But Kergaron seems to be a busy city.
Yeah, I'll stay up there for like 20, 30 minutes or until it seems like we're starting to get close to people and I should no longer be on the roof. Until a man with a gun sitting on top of the roof could be considered a problem.
Yeah. Cool.
I will be a man on the roof with a gun until that is considered socially unacceptable.
And then I will be a man in the cart with a gun out of a window.
Dandon, you were in your room, correct?
Yeah.
Cool.
Up in the ropes in there.
Yeah.
Just vibing.
Vibing.
Man, I'm so excited for the day that somebody is treating a customer and one of us just walks down. Like, John just walks down in just, like, pants and, like, with a cup of coffee and just, like, blearily making shit in the kitchen. And there's, like, somebody bleeding out 13 feet away.
It's like, hey, listen, I know it's been a tough day, but can you die quieter?
Can you die quieter? Oy.
That should be a sign up somewhere in the cart.
Please die quietly.
Please stay quietly.
Damn.
Please suffer in silence.
This is our home. Please suffer in silence.
There it is.
Reviews. Care, 5 stars. Convenience, 5 stars. Customer service, 1.
Comment. That weird lizard guy, the doctor, he's really cool, but everybody else, they're really weird.
I'm not sure if these are doctors.
I didn't see
I'm
a single
healed, but I
diploma on
don't
the
know
wall.
if these are actually doctors.
Also, one of them kept my blood.
4 stars. I'm totally fine now, but I'm
4
not
stars.
positive these people
Yeah.
are professionals.
Physically fine, mentally.
Mentally
return.
questioning the safety of the procedures I underwent.
Would return, would not recommend. And so the Killjoy's traveling apothecary and physician continues to travel.
There was one other thing I wanted to do while I was on the roof, just by myself. Candace is gonna take a second and just making sure that no one is around, mutter to himself very quietly in Abyssal. He's like, I know you don't really tell me a lot of things sometimes, and that's fine. But if our new acquaintance, Hoffrey, should well, if he should come into your care anytime soon, can you let me know?
Going to give me a religion check.
Is there any chance I get advantage on religion checks just with Danya?
Not yet, no.
Fuck. 12.
You sense or hear a slight rustling. Familiar rustling. You are aware that Danya has heard. Danya is present with you, but has not spoken.
That's pretty good.
Can John spend the next 2 hours putting ample efforts towards studying the divine texts that Coralia has given me?
Absolutely.
Just furthering that.
Continuing to study the Archseraphs, the Tetrarchy, and their associated portfolios of divinity. Is there any in particular you wish to learn more about that you are focused on, or still a general reading?
I think we did some general stuff. I think John's a little bit more amply curious about I'm not positive the name off the top of my head, but it's that Archseraph of Sacrifice.
Morale.
Morale. I think the connections are palpable and obvious. So John's gonna take a peek.
Yeah. You start reading about the Archseraph of Sacrifice Morale, who held dominion over heroism and compassion. Morale, of course, was slain by the Imperium 500 years ago in an event that is often now called the Great Malice. But in death, Morale remains the patron of martyrs, those who aspire to be great heroes. He offers strength to those who must surrender themselves for a great cause. Morale is, of course, opposed by the archfiend Malakir the Proud, who views Morale's ultimate sacrifice as the sign of his inferiority and weakness.
Interesting. Would I have enough time before we arrive and I need to start doing face things to brush up on any archfiends?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in his hood. I think it'd be appropriate to, I know a lot, but... God, sorry, there's a hair in my mouth. I know a lot, but I am not studied in religion, so...
Yeah, as you start reading through the sections on Tormac, you are it's a bit surprising to you, and I don't want to say like validating isn't really the right word for a bear. Like, oh, like I do know more about Tormak than most of the like texts on him. Just and again, perhaps not unsurprising because you lived in the cult for many years. So, but as far as the more kind of like academic side of things, they really play up the kind of dichotomy or the divine battle between Tormak and Miklas. And there is much, a hypothesis as to if it's possible for one to triumph over the other, and what that would mean for Terra if Tormak were to triumph over Miklas. Again, as you're reading through the entry on Tormak and on Morail, again, there is like a lot of attention paid to the kind of duality of all of these figures. There is always, for an arch-seraph, an opposing arch-fiend, the virtues and vices that are in opposition to one another. There is this very kind of clear system. And I think that for John, the position that you are in and the events that you have seen very recently, that is perhaps troubling.
Yeah.
For you
A little
know, and you saw it, and then more than that, you heard it in your vision or your dream. Tormak, exultant in victory over Miklas at last, for Mercy is now dead in Terra.
A small painting on the wall opens up, and Dandon leans out and says, "What you reading about?"
Oh my!
The painting that is on the wall that Dandon crawls out of is a smaller painting up higher on the wall, and it looks to be a painting of a cow in a field. A very
Moo.
happy-looking cow in a field.
Moo.
Very awkwardly different from the rest of the energy in this space.
I'm reading about fuck.
You said a sway.
John, yeah, you scared the shit out of me.
And John pulls out his pipe and lights it for a moment.
I was reading about fiends and seraphs.
Ooh.
I figured one of the holy folk in this group should know something about them.
Yeah.
And it's oddly grounding to study.
I mean, I talked to one for like 5 years, but I don't still really know much about her.
Well, I know studying's not your favorite, so I'll give you the cliff notes once I've finished.
It's mostly just math. I like reading other stuff.
Well, I'll lend you the book once I'm done.
Cool.
Those connect to everybody's room, don't they?
I haven't found one it hasn't led to yet.
That tracks. Have fun.
I'm...
As the painting closes again, you watch as on one side a little hook lock swings out from behind the painting. And there is a hook to lock it into.
John leaves it unlocked for now.
That's very important information for me, thank you. That's what thieves...
What are you rolling for, Blake? What are those rolls?
Hey, guess what? I don't have to tell you shit.
You don't. That's your prerogative.
Ralia.
In the 2 hours that we have before we arrive at the care.
Yep.
Can I think back on the situation that I found myself in out in the stars? and the entity that I spoke to. It was offering information, right? And I declined it.
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
13.
It's really hard to say what, if anything, was being offered. It was such a galaxy brain, like cosmic,
Very scary situation.
on the most of cosmic scales. You were seeing something that you understood to be lost. And lost not just from the world you inhabit, but lost from your comprehension. The comprehension of your kind.
But
And
it's yeah.
Its comments, what it was saying was strange. It talked of return, of lost ones. It knew of your loss.
It said I called out to it, right?
I do believe that is correct. Yes. It knew that you had been messing with time.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a history check.
Oh, well, goodbye, die. I guess you get to live on the floor now. $25.
As you ponder this strange encounter, some phrases return to you. You recall this four-armed figure saying that we will return. Look to the stars, and see in them the signs. A time of remembrance approaches, of rebirth and renewal, of revenge. And that's certainly the more kind of cosmic epiphanies. But there was also this very strange, and all like, you certainly didn't detect it in its voice, but if this were said by anyone else, you might. This like strangely tender.
Like
The magic you wield cannot be sustained. You must let it go. You must let her go.
Okay, so the roof of Corey's room is the same as the roof of the inside of her Galder's tower. So it does have an active star chart. Do I see any other missing constellations aside from the champion? Or any stars that have gone out?
Oh, yeah, you look up. Spend some time looking. There, Slayer, Vanquisher. Nothing is missing, other than champion still.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, Star Entity. I can't exactly let go of my magic, or else this is all for naught. And she looks down at the hands, and the blue, the deep cobalt, royal blue that stains both of her hands has spread down into her wrists. And her whole hand is now covered in it. I'm really getting tired of not having answers. I will ponder a loophole from what has been stated. She is throwing herself into this situation because it's all she can do.
Mm-hmm. Elias, what are you getting up to?
Just
Got about 2 hours to go still, so.
just poring over some research and what Hoffrey and I had discussed beforehand.
Yeah, you go over the notes, the documents, the leads, really, that Hoffrey provided you with, right? Of his, working theory of the beast's corruption touching the soul, and his belief that while a complete and permanent reversal might be out of reach or more difficult to achieve, that there are signs that relief can be provided, and that there are different herbs or ingredients, different combinations that could be tried. And wants you to kind of like catalog results and just gather information as much as possible, so that when next the two of you meet, maybe a breakthrough can be had. But of course, thinking about that, Elias, gets you thinking about what you left behind, what you saw. It's a difficult situation.
Yep. In between research, I just distract myself with tea making as if to comfort myself.
Mm-hmm.
Matcha is my coping mechanism.
Put that on the t-shirt.
That on a goddamn shirt.
And other than that, once I'm done all that, just keeping an eye out behind us.
Mm-hmm. Elias, with your passive perception of 31. Ludicrous. On that 31, you see Dandin walk by, and you notice a familiar disturbance in the air beside them. Someone is scrying on Dandin.
Do you feel alright?
I think so.
Can I get can I do some sort of check to or like,
Or you can tell the wizard who has non-detection.
scrying. I forgot if you can see like a physical manifestation of scrying.
It's an invisible sensor, so no. You just happen to notice, like, when Dandin walked by something in the space, like, if there was nothing there, or if, because there's something there, it, like, disturbed, like, something in a strange way. You don't physically see the sensor, but you know there's something by their shoulder.
I will relay through our connection to Corey.
Cool.
Belle is coming back. I think she might be in the restroom.
That's cool. Let's take a quick break then. I actually need to go washroom 2 and fill up water. So let's meet back in 5:10.
Bueno.
Wait, Blake, I have blindsight.
From VR soul connection. Already that there's a scry on the Dandoin.
On the hush hush.
Yes, I will, instead of alerting everyone that I have been informed of said thing and alerting the scrying eye that we know, I will quietly go out and give Bethany a sugar cube and cast non-detection on the cart.
Important.
You head out, offer the sugar cube, cast the spell. The spell's cast.
Cool. I should have done that earlier.
Elias, you watch the sensor eye rotate a few times, kind of like looking up and down and everywhere. Spins around Dandin, goes up, goes down, steadies, and then disappears.
Aw, we just teleported away. Aw.
We're good.
I think maybe they did that before. Maybe. I don't know.
Yes, they've done it once already. So, that's why I have the spell now.
Cool.
Thank you, Elias, by the way. I appreciate your perceptive eyes.
Just what I see.
Can I... She's like staring intently at you, Elias. And she looks like she wants to ask something. Well, never mind, I don't want to know.
Just gives you a grin. Oh, a small smile.
Sorry.
For what?
They were spying on me.
It's fine, it's not your fault. We have big, bad, scary people coming after us.
It'd be great if that could stop.
Yeah, what did John call him earlier? Captain Capitalism? King Capitalism? He's quite incessant, but I agree that I'd like it to stop quickly.
Do you guys think that, like, honestly, do you think Pemberton told Martorius that we just have the object and we stole it? Or do you think he actually told him that it's in our heads?
And probably that we stole it.
Yeah.
Because
That's
if he
kind of-
says that it's in our heads, then he is in trouble.
Yeah. But also, like, I feel like that just means that, like, he's more likely to just kill us. And then search our bodies.
I mean, they were planning on killing us and searching our bodies anyway. That's what the people in the bathhouse were going to do.
I think they were just gonna make sure we didn't leave, but
I'm pretty sure they were gonna
Right.
cut our heads off.
terrible.
Coralia,
Hmm.
you feel a whining in your head. A sending spell has been cast. And you hear the following message.
Oh no.
Greetings, Coralia. I believe that you are in possession of something of mine. Let us discuss your future together. And then there's like a pause and then like a byline of the Arch-Abjurer Martorius. Though, of course, he does not deign to say that.
Oh no. I'm not gonna touch that one. That one's gonna stay unanswered.
Leave him on red.
Yeah, no, she's really good at that. Actually, she doesn't even open the message. She just reads it in the notification bar and goes, Just so everyone is aware, I will ping that
Yeah.
bit to everyone. It kind of like echo like distantly for Kane. But yeah, I don't know what to do about it.
Ooh, he knows your name.
Nah, that's the
Don't?
bad part.
That is a pretty bad part.
You-
I'd recommend not doing anything about it.
Well, yes, obviously, but you'll find very rapidly that there are going to be a lot of people who know my name.
Okay, so here's my thought.
Hmm.
We have a lot of money. We have 8 hours in which, as long as we're inside the cart, they can't see us. We need to go into the town and we need to find somebody who maybe, I don't know, could make us or like enchant us, something that makes it so people can never scry on us as long as like we're wearing it or something. And then we all put those on, and then you don't have to cast magic every single day. And then we go from there. We have so much money. And what is a better way to protect Hoffrey's investment than to protect us?
Very persuasive, Dandon. She has a point. Granted, I fully assume that if anything ever comes towards us in a bad sense, our dearest Elias will be able to see it coming 68 miles away.
That's far.
Not quite.
Your assumption of me is too high, Coralia. But I think it would be a wise investment. We could send Kane to go get it.
What am I doing?
Procuring us some amulets to keep us hidden from the people that are hunting us.
Okay.
Do you need... I will turn to John. You should probably go with him.
That might be wise.
I am an intelligent woman, not necessarily a wise one. So I appreciate that.
I
from
can
her.
go. I can go.
But they are already scrying on you. But they are already scrying on you.
Yeah, but then they'll be scrying on a dwarf.
I see
They'll
no
be
flaw
like,
in this.
what?
idea.
Huh? Who's that? That's not who I was trying to scry on. That's
That
just a
dwarf
random
is going
person.
shopping.
You know, that might actually work.
He's only,
He's the
what,
thing
the
that keeps
smartest
talking to me.
wizard ever? Everything will probably be fine.
I am so offended right now. Dandin. What the fuck, buddy?
Listen. You're a skull, and he's still a body.
There's more going on, but yeah. Whatever.
Martorius has been around since like before Terra was Terra, right?
Oh, he's a human, I think.
Martorius has been around for a long time. Not since Terra was Terra, but he was around
When
since like the Burok Empire was formed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And, like-
he is far older than he should be.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that was the other thing.
Normal wizard things.
He was like, just like, yeah. So that painting I told you guys about, it was Martorius and Hoffrey and Chum. Chum had a body then. And it was, I think, that Goliath guy that they told us about. And also this one lady that kind of wears robes kind of like you do sometimes. And I think there
Lauro
was
and
like,
Kira, yes.
yeah, and I think there was maybe a couple other people in there too that I didn't recognize. But they were like us. Well, not like us, but they were like wandering around. They were like adventuring around and doing stuff.
It's a good picture. I'm glad Hoffrey still has it up.
Well, I have a waiting message from. I've already made the ex-boyfriend joke once. So I would like to alleviate that situation as quickly as possible.
Why don't you just answer him no and leave it there?
Why don't you
Oh.
say eat shit fucko?
That's also an option.
That is
I
an
recommend
option.
somewhere between the two if Dandon's was more alluring to you.
You could tell him to go kick rocks.
He might bring a mountain down on us if we say that, though.
Yeah, he's a bit of a prick.
I mean,
You
guys,
could also not respond.
I don't think you have to, right?
Kind of up to you.
Slate
like,
of
you know,
options now.
Yeah.
I do have a plethora. You guys are all so very creative.
Wait a minute, Chum, was every single person in that painting now a member of the Theurge?
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know.
I
Was
don't
that
hang-
was that before or after or during the founding of the Theurge?
These things kind of happened at the same time, yes.
Okay. So you guys were kind of like friends one time, right?
Friends is a very loaded word to use in this situation with those people, but we were closer once, yes.
How much farther are we from the care?
Time passes. Elias, you said you wanted to pop a non-detection or a pass without trace when you guys got closer. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you cast that spell. Your tracks will utterly disappear, correct?
Yep.
That's how that spell works.
We are passing without the trace.
Whoa. Almost like that's what it says, eh? It's like the name of the spell. It does the thing.
Oh my god, who named this spell?
That's good. Cool. Yeah, you erase all traces of your passage.
Quick question, because
Yep.
I'm still trying to. December is still putting things in order. So Mortorius is part of the Theurge. Is he connected to the family?
The Theurge is not connected to the family.
I meant
the family is...
Mortorius specifically.
No, it does not.
Okay.
There's no indication of that so far.
Okay. I know they've mentioned the family a couple of times. Would Kane know anything about that, having the criminal background and being from a criminal
Oh,
organization?
Certainly. In fact, your order was concerned and was ever vigilant for signs of family agents in any cities that you were in, especially, like where you were based out of in Pravia, because the reputation of the family is, once they move into a place and kind of want to establish roots there, they will be ruthless in cutting out the competition.
You either work for them or you work for nobody.
Yeah, so
Or you work
it
with the
was
fishes.
essentially, yes. So you were always vigilant for signs of them, but it never did find any family members in Pravia.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could spot, their presence fairly easily.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. Anything else people would like to do before we arrive at Kergaran? Awesome. Oops.
Woo!
Woo!
Ooh. Now that's a dwarf hold.
As you finally complete the 4-hour trek, you arrive at the city of Kergaran. Entering into the city, you are immediately struck by the sturdiness of everything. The vast majority of buildings are constructed out of stone and bear the chisel marks, or honestly the lack thereof, of expert stonemasons. There is gold and copper and silver and other rare metals decorating stone statues and monuments throughout the city, with runes engraved and precious gems inlaid in similar abundance. Well, you see that many of the tables and benches in particular are built primarily for dwarven frames, 4 to 5 feet, 250 to 300 pounds on average. Most of the structures themselves are built on a grand scale that makes all of you feel quite small, honestly. As you enter into Kergaran, you see that, again, it is a busy dwarf hold. There is plenty of traffic to and from. Guards stand by the walls and the gates, who pay you little mind seeing just another wagon with more travelers coming to the care. Wave you inside without any difficulty. As you enter, there's a stable right away near the gate where you entered through. And there are a few horses stabled, but there are also these great mountain goats, or boars, or oxen, extremely thick of limb and stout of chest. And looking around you, The city spreads out around the base of several mountains. So towards the north, you see there's a bridge leading towards this great keep built into the stone face itself. And there are other buildings and entrances that have been constructed into the mountains around you as well. You see folk entering and exiting these mountain dwellings frequently. And walking all around, there are plenty of dwarven men and women sporting beards of various styles or lengths. But there are also minotaurs, bugbears, or Goliaths. A busy city of commerce, of hardy folk, making a living in a hardy place. As you enter into Kergaran, what do you all do?
Revel in the feeling of being small for once.
Yeah, it's a humbling, perhaps, but an interesting feeling, certainly.
Oh, we're getting supplies and then getting the fuck out of here.
Gotcha.
And maybe some of their really good mead.
Yeah, supplies.
Yeah, as you're having a conversation about supplies, you see one of the guards nearby. If you're looking for supplies or food, drink, my brother-in-law works at the Endemaya Ox Tavern, so I recommend you check that out. Tell him you know Dirk. He'll give you a discount.
To the My Ox Tavern.
Yeah, Endemaya Ox. You want me to write that down for you, or
No, I got it.
you got it?
I got it, Blake. I get the pun.
Why do I feel like
It's a
there's
great
something I'm
place.
missing?
So it's local, you know. It's not like those fucking Red Dog Inns.
Yeah, I don't like them either. They're awful.
You're fucking
Let-
shite.
Robots into their places to kill people.
What?
Moving
What?
on.
Heard some wild rumors.
Killer robots.
Morency's
about
a crazy
Grimpunk?
place.
Indeed.
What?
Yeah, them too.
Talking about Grimstar?
What's Grimstar?
Those
What's
were the
good-
guys that killed you.
You didn't see? You see, he kind of just points up at the sky. You follow his finger. He's not pointing at anything. There's nothing up there. Yeah, they're up there. Fucking weirdos. Flying around in their metal ships. Shooting shit. Talking about killer robos. That's them.
So which way?
You're right. And he just points you off in the direction.
I'll go check it out.
A beautiful thing that was that just happened.
And My Ox. And you said it every time. Every time he said it, he said, and My Ox.
You have to. It's a brand name. It's recognition. You head off to And My Ox.
Oh, I'll
and you
edit my
find,
note. That's actually the name.
yeah, you find a small, well-established tavern. Small in Kergaran is still, 15-foot doorway.
Bitchin'.
Opening up, 20-foot span. It is a large building anywhere else, just in the context of Kergaran and the mountains of the Grey Spine. It is perhaps not quite as domineering. As you head inside, though, you find that the weather again in the city is noticeably warmer. Most of the snow melts as soon as it kind of hits the ground in here, just due to the ambient heat from all of the forges and furnaces and smithing that's going on here. Compared to Stenwald, for example, which is the center of the Biraki military, specializing in, firearm production, black powder, Kergaron's industry is more tailored towards traditional dwarven weapons and arms and armor. If you were looking for example, like a magical axe, this is the place to be. If you're looking for a gun, you might not find too many options, though. You head inside and my ox tavern, and you see that again. It's around 10 o'clock at night by the time you've made it to the city. It is bumping in here. There's a bard in the corner banging out, just laying it down on the bagpipes. There's some drums getting drummed. Plenty of folk enjoying the night, enjoying food and company of their fellows.
Down by the river.
Yeah, word. Oh, yeah? Okay. Bet. No.
Plink, 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 plonk.
So what are we doing?
We just need to get supplies. This place is busy as fuck.
So it's a tavern, and tavern's got bars and things. Does there appear to be anything more akin to somebody selling supplies, like Dirk suggested, or?
Yeah, you see that it appears to be a frequently recommended first stop for people coming to and from the city. So there is, in addition to just, room and board, food and drink, there's also kind of like a supply counter where you can get shit for your stay in Kergaron, but also for your travels through the Grey Spine.
I'm gonna head there.
Perfect. You're going off to get some supplies. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm buying alcohol.
You
did
go
we
to
leave
Important
the cart?
supplies.
Out front, no one can get into it unless they're allowed to.
Okay.
And no one's gonna go close to that horse.
So true.
The last thing Kane was told is that he was gonna go into town with John to get something, so he's just following John.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just
Dandin
two
and Elias, sorry.
cult members walking to a bar.
Two normal
I
looking
don't think I'm
dudes.
allowed in a bar. Because I have
Lessons.
yeah. Well, also I just frequently wasn't allowed in the bar that I frequented, where I lived. So Dandon will watch people go inside and just be sitting by the cart and be like, okay, and I will pull up my hood and then pull it back down, and I am a like Einstein hair, big glasses gnome, and I'm just like I look like a tinkerer gnome, and my eyes are huge, and I'm like, right, and I will look for a guard in the immediate vicinity. Or just somebody that looks like maybe not a guard, maybe a citizen, just a citizen around, and be like, "Excuse me, my name is Leviticus Killjoy, and I am looking for some place where I might be able to purchase magical items. Could you perhaps point me in a correct direction?"
Yeah, you stop, you flag down. There's like a goblin walking by, just kind of looks at you and says, "You looking for magic shit?
Correct.
You might want to check out Brahms bottles and such."
Wonderful, wonderful. And what direction would that be in?
You're gonna want to hang a Randy until you pass by the big wall, we like to call it. and you're gonna hang a Larry, and you're gonna do a 360, and you're gonna scoot and boot around the interior fountain. And you know what? Why don't you just follow me?
That sounds like an excellent idea. I'll follow you, stranger. Uh,
Yeah. So you sound new to town.
yes, of course. This is my cart. This is Killjoy, traveling apothecary. I'm traveling with my sons. We are looking to do some business here, and I have a bit of magical nonsense I need to procure.
Magical nonsense. Yeah, you and me both, brother.
Cool. Well, where's that shop at?
You just want to follow me. And he starts leading you down an alley.
Elias, please tell me you're following the child.
I am following the child and leaving some of my coke bears to look after the.
The cart is protected by Coke Bears and Bethany. We're fine.
Yeah, you guys are fucking good. You following stealthily, Elias? Or openly?
I mean, then they probably sense where I am. I'm
Yeah.
not really trying to stealth.
Cool. Yeah, it starts leading you down an alley, and then see this goblin stops, turns around, and just points back at the alley entrance. Is that guy with you?
Elias.
And not.
In what form? What are you just in your normal form?
Yep.
I look back. And I look back at him and say, "Yes, that's one of my sons."
Oh, great. Nice to meet son of Levi, it was?
Leviticus Killjoy.
Right. Cool.
Just making sure he doesn't get himself into any trouble. You know how he is.
Yeah, no. This is crazy. Sorry, I just forgot. I am late for my my jury duty, so I gotta get going. But I will see you, and like I said, I kind of gave you directions already, Levi. So you should be good, right? And he's like
cast
backing
friends
up,
on him.
pointing at you. You cast friends.
I say, "Why don't you just get me to the door there, buddy?"
I don't make a save, right? It just
No, I just get advantage on a persuasion check.
Goblin, give me that persuasion check.
This goblin was really out here like, I can't mug you if you're not alone, so I'm going to leave.
Let's see. It's a 22.
Well, it's just jury duty. They can wait. Follow me. And turns around and starts leading you away further down the alleyway. Quickly, you discover that it's a dead end. He goes, "Why did I come down this way? We're just gonna have to take a detour, and then we'll get you to Brahms bottles and such. Okay?
Right.
In fact, why don't we just hop up here? There's a dumpster here. You hop up, and then you can pull me up, and I'll pull your friend up."
Can I insight check the goblin?
Yeah.
13.
This goblin is not making sense.
Yeah. Right. Okay, well, it's nice to jilt an old man when he first gets to town. I understand. Come along, son. And I turn around and I pat Elias.
Well, where are you
on the side.
going? Where are you
We'll
going?
go find this magic item shop ourselves.
What? And you leave this goblin alone in the alleyway.
Give the goblin a smile.
That is not the first time someone has tried to mug.
Goblin gives
Gandalf.
you a frown.
I look up at Elias and I really thought that would work.
New to the city.
John and Kane. The Cult 2. You go and speak with the supplies vendor. Cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What are we looking for?
I'm looking for food. I'm looking for a couple of mountain climbing sets.
Mark.
Snowshoes for everybody. Honestly, low key, maybe some skis to like replace the wheels on the cart in like intense weather conditions. I know we're mostly heading out of the mountains, but it'll be nice to have those.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah, you still have like a couple days of going through the mountains before you get out.
and then just general warm weather gear, if I didn't already state that for us.
Smart.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my shopping list.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for me. Roll for me 2d10.
Do you want the total or them
Separate.
individually?
Separate.
Separate. I got an 8 and a 2.
Oh, look at that. uh, 8 and a 2?
8 and a 2, yes.
All right, so if we are getting all of those supplies for everyone, it's going to run you 1,000 GP.
Easy. We have 10,000. How much food does that net us for like this journey that I can put down?
That will net you 10 days worth of rations.
10 days of rations. Okay.
Yes.
Can we
Yeah, lots
increase
of dried meats.
What's our grand total on rations already?
Couldn't tell you.
We did our travel.
'Cause didn't Hoffrey give us some with the cart?
He gave us a little, not much. We still,
Like
we
a couple
had
of days.
Yeah,
like-
we had enough. We had determined we had enough to get to your hometown. That's how much we had.
So that was a week away.
Yeah, something
So we
like
still
that.
have at least that. So we would be getting another 10 days. What's this at 20? That's not quite enough. Can we crank it up to a grand total of a month's worth of rations on my end's purchase? So 3 weeks worth.
Yeah, absolutely.
These are winter travels. You gotta prepare for potentially being stuck somewhere for a while.
How much money?
That'll just tack on another 100 gold.
100
So
gold. So
1,600?
1,100.
Oh, 11.
1,100 will be the grand total then for all of your camping, traveling supplies, and 1 month's of worth of rations for the party.
Sweet.
Kick ass.
All right, here. All right, Kane, carry. Can you carry these skis? I think I've got the rest of it.
And then, so for the future, when we are doing this travel and like any exploration or shit, like if something comes up and you're like, oh, I think I would have bought something like that, absolutely, we can make sure that you did that. In fact,
Okay.
you're dropping a lot of gold. If it's something like completely unrelated for like a different area where it wouldn't make
Yeah.
sense for you to have bought it,
This is like
we'll
mountainous
say no. Yeah.
snowy weather shit.
Yeah, this
for
is
sure.
all this kind of gear.
You know, maybe at most intense, like some studs for the
Yeah.
fucking wheels. I don't know.
Yeah.
Additional transport methodology besides the wheel, we'll say.
Sounds good.
They're dwarves. I'm sure they've got some interesting stuff.
Vibing.
Cool. Yeah, you two are able to sort all this out.
We turn to see Coralia with a month's worth
Coralia.
of wine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how much booze are you buying?
Well, there are I know there is at least one man on the in the carriage that drinks alcohol. I know there is at least one man that Corey really wants to see drunk on alcohol. And there is one man that will definitely need to babysit them all. So, she is buying enough liquor for all of them.
Too much.
That's that's a lot
And
of liquor.
I have money. Corey has her own funds too. So
Cool.
Got it.
Cool. So we're trying to buy 4 people's worth of booze for how long?
she's going to buy some very nice dwarven whiskey.
Okay.
Damn.
And I'm going to buy some very nice mead. I'm going to buy 2 bottles of whiskey, 3 bottles of mead, and we'll say 4 bottles of wine.
Okay.
Not a
Just go ahead and
ludicrous
roll
amount.
me. Just roll me a d10.
7.
Yeah. The dwarven whiskey is expensive. This is
figured.
the biggest expense here. If you want to buy all of that, 700 gold. It is aged dwarven whiskey.
Can I?
Aged by dwarven standards. We're talking
Yeah.
hundreds.
We're talking like
of years.
geological.
Let's just do the whiskey and the
Aging.
mead then.
This was bottled from glass in a volcano that no longer exists.
Just the whiskey and the mead, then, not the 4 bottles of wine on top of that.
Corey has wine inside of herself. It's fine.
Terrible.
veins.
A terrible thing you just said.
We can cut that in half then, 350.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the mead is pretty cheap. The wine was so-so, and then that whiskey. Again, it's not like a lot, but it's
I will-
expensive for how
Yeah,
much
I will then return next to John and Kane and say, as she's like putting them away, she's got like the cloak over her and is putting them into the bag of holding. I'm just gonna say this now that you owe me. That is 2 bottles of whiskey I have wasted on you.
wasted.
Wasted. Rude.
Well, you can't get drunk.
I point to the bottles in her hands. I can get drunk off of that.
Well, then I guess it's not wasted. Kane, have you ever had alcohol before?
Yeah, when I can afford it.
Well, I have always been able to afford it.
I don't like that look in particular.
It'll be fun. It's called bonding. I should go make sure that Dandon isn't getting into something that she shouldn't.
Dandon's senses start tingling. Speaking of Dandon and Elias, what's the move?
Well, we're looking
Vibrate to the magic store.
somebody that isn't a goblin to tell us where the magic shop is. This time I am going to look for a town guard and ask them.
Yeah, you talk to a guard, and you are able to find your way to the merchants kind of district where there are like a variety of different possible stores,
Cool.
kind of catering the different specialties for the magical forging operations that they've got here. We looking for weapons, armor, artifacts.
I think for now we're looking for artifacts and possibly potions and apothecary stuff.
Sure, yeah. You'd be able to find both of those, no problem.
Cool.
So, you let me know what you're looking for, and we can work out a price.
I would like the because multiple of us have herbalism kits, and we're going to be operating by selling healing potions and shit.
Mhm.
I would like to purchase enough stuff to make. Let me see. Let me do math real quick.
Also a price, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, wholesale price. So I think the herbalism kit says that I can make a health potion for the price, a basic health potion for the price of a health potion.
Gotcha.
So that's 25 gold standard.
Mhm.
So I would like enough. We'll just say for now enough supplies to make 50
Mhm.
basic healing potions. And then other miscellaneous apothecary supplies for Elias to tinker with, and Corey to also tinker with.
Gotcha. So that would be 25 times 50, so that's 1250.
Yeah.
Elias's note about wholesale. If you
Yeah.
want to try and work out some kind of deal, because you are buying in bulk like that, certainly.
We're buying in bulk as
yeah.
a business.
As a
And I'm a
business.
very persuasive little man.
You are.
Go ahead and roll me persuasion then. You persuasive little man.
Yeah, that's so high. That's 26.
26, Jesus, they'll do 50%. So that'll be 625 then for your potion supplies that you can use to make 25 potions worth. Yes.
If I round that up to 700 just for other ancillary apothecary supplies and stuff that we can stock the
sounds
cart
good to
with.
me. Yeah.
Okay. So I will do that.
Let's subtract 700.
And then I am going to look at Elias and I'll be like, so if we're looking for like something that prevents us all each individually from being scryed on, where should we look? Amulets, shields, armor, rings?
Probably somewhere in that area. Amulets are usual.
Okay, to the magical jewelry store.
Yeah, you go and you find a magical jeweler.
Hello. I'm looking.
And
Yeah.
we pull a similar routine. Yeah, so there are a few different options. So like there's amulets of proof against detection and location.
Yeah.
Wondrous items, uncommon. The biggest kind of point of contention for this party that's pretty loaded with magic items. This does require attunement.
Correct.
If there are other options that don't require attunement, feel free to mention them and we can.
That was the one I was thinking of. Let me.
Because I'm pretty sure there is a ring that does that.
Do you think you could get a charm or something that would protect a space, possibly? That might be a simpler route than shielding each individual person.
Let's see. So yeah, I mean, I think it's like the amulets would be the immediate thing, unless we have like a, unless somebody has it like is selling a, ooh, interesting thought.
There.
We have the the magical jewelry store. We can always come back here. I'll look in. Maybe if we look around, if we ask around, maybe somebody sells something that's like a magical sigil that we can put on the cart.
Oh, Dandon, you are in Kergaron, the center of rune smithing.
What if we could find like a more permanent non-detection spell just for the cart?
You could absolutely find a rune smith who would sell you something like that.
Yeah, we'll look for that.
Yeah, you find the place pretty quickly. What level of spell is non-detection, Coralia? 3? Gotcha. Okay, so how I'm going to rule this is that I'm using the scroll level as a base, and then because this would be a permanent thing, I'm just going to times it by 2.
Mm.
So 3rd level scroll, 500 GP times 2. It'll cost you 1,000 for this rune of non-detection that will affect the one thing it is set into. So you can set it into an object and it will permanently enchant it with that. If you want to take it out and put it in something else, you'll be able to do that. It will just
Ooh.
basically require some work to get that set
Got
up.
it. Yeah, I'm gonna drop 1,000 on that easy.
Cool. So essentially then the wagon will become a non-detectable zone, which is
Beautiful.
very cool.
Yes, it is.
And fucks with my plans.
Stop trying on-
What the hell?
Stop spying on us, guys.
I just like
Jeez.
to watch.
Track fucking tracks like a normal stalker. Fuck. Like, go
Why-
ask
yeah.
the tavern if we showed up. Holy
Say,
shit.
why'd you want
Stop
to turn
just.
your location off? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
stop just fucking looking on Snap Map. Jeez. It's made stalkers lazy. It's so
Martori-
fucking ridiculous.
Snapchat.
Fuck, they turn their location off.
All right,
Cool.
Secundo. Sending you in.
And then I think that is good for me for now, unless because I am truly loaded up on magic items. I'm doing pretty good. Actually, that's a good point.
If there's anything you want to sell as well,
Yes.
they are happy to take shit off your hands,
Trade
melt it down.
or possibly trade. Could I trade my gloves of swimming and climbing because they don't actually do as much for me? Actually, oh, no, but they don't cut. So here's a question for you as a DM, Blake.
The
gloves of swimming and climbing, they read as: while wearing these gloves, climbing and swimming don't cost you extra movement, and you gain a +5 bonus to athletics checks made to climb or swim. When it says it doesn't cost you extra movement, that doesn't mean I have a swimming and climbing speed, correct? That just means that it doesn't cost me extra.
well, I
No,
think
that's exactly what it means.
I think not having one of those speeds means it's like difficult terrain, which has it.
Yeah.
Which
Right.
what you said cancels that out.
Okay.
So you do in fact have both of those.
Okay. Interesting.
This changes things.
It does change things. Okay. Well then.
Okay.
Probably good then.
Cool.
Because I don't think I can wear 2 sets of gloves at the same time.
Just wear
be
one
cool.
and one.
Yeah.
Just one on each hand.
You could choose the climbing or swimming, and then you can benefit from half of the other glove.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, I can change gloves if I ever need to.
Simply grow another set of limbs and
I would
wear
like to
4
also. I would like
gloves.
to purchase a set of gloves of thievery, please.
Yeah, go for it. Gloves of thievery. What is
They're
the rarity?
uncommon rarity.
Uncommon. That means we roll 1d10 times 100.
1d10. I will roll. Do not fuck with me, dice. That is a solid 3.
300 GP.
Cool. I'm done.
Cool.
I have a bunch of crap. Thank you, Hoffrey. Elias, I really need your help carrying all of these apothecary supplies.
Yeah, there's just a huge bag full of
Yeah.
herbs.
You guys are like out
Ingredients.
looking for us. Like, where the fuck did they go? You're by the cart. You've got all your stuff, and we just show up with so much like apothecary, with so much
Yeah.
random crap. It's just like,
For some
Aha!
reason, Dandin is carrying the one that's full of the glass, like all the vials and shit.
oh, but it's Elias and a gnome with Einstein hair and Coke bottle glasses.
Did you find a friend, Elias?
Try again.
Hmm.
And I point at the longer shadow being cast behind the gnome.
Oh, gotcha. Here, let me help you with the glass before you drop it.
Woohoo!
Kane is confused about who this gnome is.
All right, kids, it's time that we get on the road.
What is this act you're putting on?
I'm Leviticus Killjoy, and you're my sons, and we're traveling to go. It's a disguise.
Is,
Pretty good at selling that.
is Corey your son too?
Everyone here is my son. That's part of the because they'll think I'm crazy.
Oh,
Speaking of shit we might be able to find in the magical dwarf hold,
mhm.
I have a devious idea for helping deal with Secundo.
Let's hear it.
What are the odds, Blake, that I could find a cloak of displacement?
Ooh,
Cloak of displacement.
you got that
Ah.
free slot, bud?
Oh, you're goddamn right, I do.
Uh,
2 swords.
Okay, I'll say Cloak of Displacement reads as less dwarven magic, more elven magic.
Maybe the place we just left. That's fair. Okay, that's fair.
However, give me a luck roll, as there is a secondhand
Sure.
market.
Just a raw
Hell
luck.
yeah.
Many, as I just said to Dandin, they purchase many magic items here.
$16.
16 is high. They
It
do
is.
indeed have one.
I think this would be a fun surprise.
Looking at the price tag, go ahead and roll for me a d10. This will be times 1,000.
Four is low.
4K.
It is low. It is low. Mm.
4,000 gold pieces.
To set the stage for what we currently have after the purchases that have been made,
Uh-huh.
we have 6,900. We have 6,900 GP left.
No more
currently.
purchases allowed,
Nice.
actually.
Nice, nice.
2 things.
Yes.
Thermal cube. Cube of force.
Cube of Force.
If we can find one.
Was a thermal cube feasibly in the warm weather gear that I purchased? I don't know how rare of a magic item that is, but I'll make that argument now.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a common magic item or if it's
Oh,
really
it
It
rare.
literally is a common magic.
Yeah.
So yes, it's in the kit. You already paid for that.
I got a warm rock already. I
Cube of
think
Force
everybody's
is
got
not in
warm
that
rocks.
Solid brimstone.
Yeah,
Jeez.
everyone's got one in their pack.
Hot.
Cube of Force is not in everyone's pack. They mixed it up instead of a cube of warming. It's a cube of force.
Oh wow, this isn't at all what it's supposed to be. Lucky us.
Your weird buttons.
Cool. So 6,900. Nice. 4 grand for the cloak of displacement.
That would put us at 2,900 gold
Correct.
of what Hoffrey gave us.
Are you
Dang.
sure I can't take that ratty old thing off your hands for any less? It looks like it's been gathering dust for a while.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
I gotta try, right?
You gotta try. Yeah, you can. You can try.
I can try.
Yeah.
It's I rolled pretty good. It's a 21.
21. This is this burly Goliath looking at it, looking at you.
I mean, how long ago did that elf drop this off on you?
Few months.
And how much interest have you had in that time?
There's been interest.
Yeah?
He's not budging.
I could do 38.
I can take 38. That's respectable.
You want to go for it?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Cool.
Everyone having
You-
disadvantage on the tank until they hit him? Pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's gross.
And
what
then
you've
that just
done.
refreshes at the top of my turn?
I want you to understand, Jacob, that
I thought about what the worst
Yeah.
thing to do to a monk was. I'm like,
Yeah.
what would be the most annoying thing as a monk?
I have to tell you, as another DM sitting here playing this game, I have to tell you what you just said is gross.
Yeah, it is. Everyone always wants to put the cloak of displacement on like the rogue or something, but
Cool.
I mean, it also works
You-
there. They're
you
dumb.
buy-
Child.
You buy the cloak of displacement.
Hey, I got another Belmont cloak.
I'll take that.
This one's special, though.
Much too big for me.
Any
Just
other-
a gnome, and it's just swimming in it.
Any other purchases? Any other stops in Kergaran? Is the plan to depart? As again, it's like
travel, yeah.
10:30.
It is
11 o'clock
night,
at
though, right?
It is night.
Hmm.
Nighttime travel, John, carries its own dangers.
Lot
Oh,
of
we don't have
dangers.
to get rooms anywhere. We can just sleep in the
Visibility's
car.
low. Yeah, we could
Yeah.
probably just sleep in the car.
Oh, Miss Corey, I have a thing. And I pull out. What is it? Like, is it like the rune? Like, how does it that I can we can put on?
So it is currently just a small, like palm-sized stone,
Hmm.
not very thick, and it has these sigils engraved in it that engraved into the stone, but you also see that there's some like magical ink or something that has been inlaid in as well. That is, as you're holding in your palm, is kind of radiating softly.
Miss Corey, if you install this onto the cart, non-detection forever.
Oh, good. I put a weird little, like, opening space for a candle or something. It's a bad idea. Anyway.
And then the guy at the shop said that if we ever need to, we can actually take it off the cart and we could install it another place.
It'll just take some time, so
Yeah.
it's not like I can pop this out and then just put it there and I'm non-detectable.
Sure.
Well, I'm not
Takes-
going to be tall enough to reach it, so one of the tall people have to do
Takes like attunement time.
it.
But in the amount of time that we have left of the current spell that you have active, you can install this bad boy.
Sick nasty. I guess we should find some place to board our cart so we're not being
There
vagrants.
was stables towards the main gate, right?
Yep.
We'll go tuck it in there.
Cool. You go park the cart. Park the cart.
Never have
And-
to sleeping in it again.
Yeah. What is that? No more Red Dog Inns.
There is a
Look at what you've given
bath and there is a bath and a bathroom and a sauna inside for heat therapy.
Should we just have a schwitz? Let's
For
go.
schwitzing.
Come on. For
John
schwitzing.
is schwitzing
Yeah.
already. been a long day.
Leaning over, hands on knees. Oh yeah. Everyone turns in for the night. Yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And I think
I
we'll
will-
end it there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Make sure Kane actually comes inside.
yeah. It's like when your pet's outside late at night, you're like, "Are you coming in? Are you staying out?"
Well, Kate only has to sleep for 4 hours, so he kind of just waits
Yeah.
until he knows everyone's asleep and he gets 4 hours of meditation, then he goes back on the roof.
Yeah. Yeah. and
Even though we're
Kane-
parked.
Kane, like last time you were in a city, you know, you were hunting someone in that city. And then you killed them, and then you moved on to the road and ended up near Caer Boldor and met this band of weirdos. So being in the city again it's Pravia is where the order was based out of, but you've traveled to many cities in the last few years doing your work. So cities are associated, I think, with doing Danya's work for you. Awesome.
We be vibing, y'all.
We be vibing, we be schwitzing,
You
we be
schwitzing.
turning in for the night, we be long resting,
Oh, it's a good button.
and
to
we be
press.
calling it there for today's session. And we'll pick up next and continue the travels to the ultimate destination. Heaven.
Heaven.
Heaven
or
should
hell.
be- let's see.
Let's rock.
So, boop, boop. It should be the second next for Grimpunk.
Next Grimly Punk will be on.